Hey section leaders, I'm trying something new with a video on YouTube this week. I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to use this platform for videos so I don't have to have all extra storage. Y'all don't need to know about all that. I think this is going to be the easiest platform for me to have our videos. Plus you can comment and add questions on there. So I'm excited. Let's go. This week has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming to Tuesday night prayer, to our Wednesday night CE class. Just what God's done this week is fantastic, and I'm excited for where He's taken us. So great updates coming soon. I've got a lot I want to talk about today, so I'm just gonna get rolling with it. Hope you stick with me. First things first, if you guys can mark May 20th down on your calendars. That is a Sunday, and after our Sunday services, I would like to have lunch with you guys. So Sunday, May 20th from 1:15 to 2:30. I'd like to have lunch with you guys and do a training. Have this be this month's section team meeting. I have a lot of stuff that I want to cover with you guys, questions I want to answer, that it would be best if we did it in a group training format. This will be a more structured discussion and team day. So if you guys can make it, I would absolutely love that. And yes, we will have lunch together. We can either do potluck style, or if you guys want, I can we could do like Chipotle, and I can put in the order online. You guys could tell me what you want and I'll go pick it up, have it ready for us, so we can just go in there and eat right after service, and then we can just split the tab for that accordingly. If that's something you guys want to do, then awesome, and let's go. So May 20th, 1:15 to 2:30, and I'm just confirming that we can book the room and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I've got it on my calendar. I've set the date, and if you guys can make it, that's amazing. If not, I'll try to record the class, and that way we can share it again later. Okay, so now on to my notes. Covered May 20th, glory, glory. All right, so I've been in conversation with about 6 or 7 of you this week today, and y'all's feedback has just been amazing. I'm trying to touch base with all of you guys. I really want to, talk to you over the phone, have lunch, get coffee, something, have some one-on-one time to hear where you guys are at, how you're doing, if you need anything, if you're loving being a section leader, if you need a little bit more encouragement or motivation, whatever. I'm here for you. I love you guys. I love hearing your life stories too. So, I'm going to be calling some of you guys, leaving messages. You can call me back anytime, reach out to me on my cell. Let's get some time scheduled together, because doing life with you is important to me, and I want to make sure y'all are loving this as much as I am. Okay? So yes, from the conversations I've been having with you guys, some amazing stuff has been coming up. So let's get started. So, with your weekly emails, if you haven't been sending out a weekly email, that's okay. Let's get started. I want to encourage you guys to use that section leader weekly email template. If you don't have it, I'll include it on a link in my email update. And you can modify that. You can do whatever you want with that, that's fine, but we just want to make sure that we are getting that information out to our section communities, just so that they can register for events online, that they know that we're available for them if they need prayer, and we're just saying a little pulse check and hey, how's it going? That's what that weekly email is for. So some of you guys have had a hard time kind of modifying or making the emails look pretty. So I wanted to let you know that the best way to get your links moved over easy, and for your pictures and your formatting, like all the pretty stylish stuff that we do with the emails, to get that moved over into the group leader toolbox communications, is to actually do all of your updates in a Word document, and then to copy it and paste it into the group leader toolbox email. And the formatting should copy over. For the most part, I've seen that it's been really successful. So just type up your email, do all your modifications, hyperlinks, all that good stuff in your Word document, and then just copy and paste it over into the email format. And if that doesn't work for you, if you run into any problems, let me know. I will create another more specific training video on how to do that part of it for you guys too, so we'll have that. If you're uncomfortable sending out a weekly email, that's totally okay. Let's work together to make a little weekly newsletter, and it's something that we can type up together, and I can print out mass copies of it and we can pass it out on Sunday to our section team, to our section members, and that way we're still in communication with them, telling them what's going on, what we're excited about, and still making ourselves available. So just one way or another, we want to have a constant weekly communication going out with our section communities. So including with those emails, we also want to be working on recruiting team members. Now, a couple of you guys have done a fantastic job and have already emailed your section communities and asked if anyone wants to be a part of your section team. Some of you have taken the core leadership page from the sections training booklet, and you've sent the little volunteer job descriptions. You've sent those and said if something appeals to a person that they could reach out and be available. That's fantastic. Another way that you could get people involved is, if people don't really want to have a label or a specific job title, they just want to help. Or maybe they don't want to be exactly part of a section team, but they just want to support you. One really great thing that we can do is ask people to own a row. I feel really strongly about this right now. I think it's important for us to have people build ownership in their sections, even if it's just one person in a row that's planted there and that's where they sit, they have their spot, to have them own that row and just kind of a really simple thing. Just notice who sits in their row, say hi, and if they notice a new face, introduce themselves. If they're a first-time guest, bring them over to meet the section leader, you guys. So if we can get, just slowly, there's not a pressure to build this and do this all right now, but if we can just slowly ask people, hey, this is where you're sitting, this is your row, do you mind, I see you sit here every week, would you mind just kind of owning this row? If you notice a first-time guest, if you notice somebody new, just introduce yourself, and if they are new, can you bring them to meet me as a section leader? That would be so helpful and help us to just make sure we're not missing anybody. That's a huge thing, and it's such a simple ask, and people can do that. So yes, if that's something that y'all are willing to do, please, that would be very helpful. Owning a row and recruiting team members. And my light just went out. Sorry, just flashed my armpit at you guys. We had field day at school, field and family fun day for Trinity Christian School. So I've been hanging out, got my Mama Bear shirt on, I've been hanging out with my kids today. It's been a really fun day. So sorry, I'm not in my normal work gear, but all good. Okay, so one of the things that you guys had talked to me about is having our first-time guest raise their hands. If you've noticed, there have been some changes with how we're doing announcements and the guest welcome, and it's all just, we're kind of testing waters and seeing how things are going. I am still pushing to get people to ask just to raise their hands if they're a first-time guest. So keep your eyes peeled if they are up there. Sorry, my husband was peeking in at my office window and distracted me. So keep your eyes out. So if they do see it, you want to see those first-time guests, and then make a beeline for them, in that minute where you're standing hugging your neighbor, or or just run to them as quick as you can after service and try to get them to the reception room. We want to try to do that, and I'm going to encourage whoever is doing the guest welcome to ask them. The thing that they were actually trying to get away from is asking the first-time guests to raise their hand so we could give them that welcome booklet. We're not doing that anymore. But if I can continue to tell people, it really helps the section leaders to know who to connect with if we ask people to raise their hand. I think that they'll see the value and they'll keep doing that. So I'm working on that one for you guys. So just keep your eyes peeled. Okay, so some of you have also been asking, how can we actually connect? We don't have a lot of time in service on Sunday to build relationship for people to get to know us one-on-one. So we've got to kind of be thinking outside of the box. One of our section leaders is planning a section community event, and she's going to be, working, coordinating with Cedar Hill State Park and seeing if we can just do hamburgers and hot dogs, just fun stuff, and invite everybody out so we can just spend time hanging out and having fun. Maybe have some field games. I'm gonna get together and hopefully brainstorm some ideas and coordinate that. That's an idea. Events outside of Sunday, and if it's not your strong suit to coordinate something like that, or if that feels too overwhelming, that's okay. Let's just talk. We can figure something out. A lot of the other churches that do section communities, they do coffee connects. So they'll do a coffee connect before or after service, and what that is it's just like coffee and cookies. Maybe in a room like the prayer room or legacy room or an alcove in the rotunda area even, and it just gives people an opportunity to linger before or after service and have time to talk and be a little more intentional. And that's something that we can easily do. We just need to make sure that the space is available and that we coordinate it in advance so we can spread the word and let our section community know, hey, we're gonna have our first coffee connect next Sunday after service, so come hang out with us. And then we can make sure all of our facilities and everything are ready to go for that too. So community events, serving opportunities, and things like that are ways that we can connect and really start to build relationship with one another outside of a Sunday service. I'm still going to be talking to leadership about our order of service and seeing if we can maybe get 2, maybe 3 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is in the middle of a service, where we can spend more time saying hi, connecting, and have enough time to really invite someone to stay after service so we can meet them and build relationship with them. So I'm still working on that. So we have intentional greeting time to help us connect with people, but also to help people connect with each other too. Yes, so I'm working on that for you guys. Just pray about it. Just pray everything's well received, which it has been so far, and God is being so good and so faithful. So I'm not worried. We're just going to keep talking about it, and y'all's feedback is so helpful. So thank you. Okay, so another question that came up is, do I have any tips on how to break the ice? We don't want to be awkward if someone has been a section or has been attending Trinity for a long time. We don't want to make them uncomfortable or feel weird if we go up and we're like, oh, are you a first-time guest here? Because we don't personally know them. So I've got 3 kind of questions, sayings, whatever, that I would suggest throwing out there that make kind of those conversations flow a little more naturally. Just test them out. You can write them on a little note card in case you forget. Look over them before service so you feel confident about it. So the first question is, how long have you been here? That's a great question. So if you walk up to someone you don't know and you're like, hey, I'm Callie, I'm the section leader. I don't think I've met you before. What's your name? And they're like, oh, I'm Susie. And you're like, okay, Susie, well, hey, how long have you been at Trinity? And they can tell you, oh, I've been here for 5 minutes. It's the first day, or we've been here for 15 years. Then another great follow-up question for that is, oh man, what all are you involved in? I can't believe I haven't met you yet. What ministries are you going to small groups? And what's your story? Those are great ways to just naturally break the ice and kind of find out more about somebody. You will meet people that have their wall up and just don't want to talk. They could be tired, they could be exhausted, they might just feel weird with someone they don't know approaching them. All of that's okay. That's not a reflection on you. That's just how they're feeling. We can never be too kind. We can never say hi. We can't overlove somebody. So, don't worry if you get the walls up. It's always okay to just kind of do a quick drive-by and just say, hey, good to see you. Glad you're here this morning. I'm Callie, your section lead. If you need anything, I'm here for you, okay? And then you just walk by. That's totally okay, and that just, we're making ourselves available without putting pressure for conversation. So you have options. You're not obligated to try and have a deep, heartfelt conversation with every person that you meet. Another question is, just saying, hey, how's it going? I'm Callie. I'm your section leader. I'm here for you if you need anything. I already said that, but I needed to make sure I covered it. So, yes, easy things. You can just mark those down. How long have you been here? What all are you involved in? What's your story? And I'm your leader and I'm here for you. Super simple. Okay, you guys, I want you to feel more than welcome to email our section leader training out to your communities if you want to, so they can see what the vision is for sections. I feel confident in that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, hold off on sending the entire document unless I will make a modified version and take off like the last 2 pages, which were more specifically focused for you guys. I will take those off and make it more vague information and more broad, I should say, not vague, just ready for the entire congregation. And then you guys can share that. I'll send a copy of that to you as well. That's the shareable one. So feel free to share that. It's fine. If that gets people excited and motivated about what we're trying to do, by all means, let's spread the word. So one of our section leaders had a fantastic idea, and I'm so on board with it. One of the things we want to start doing for our section communities is creating a small group list, a small group directory. So a couple ways we can go about doing this. If you meet somebody in service, you can ask them if they're part of a small group or if they lead one. But I think email is a great way. So on our emails, you can just say, hey, we're trying to create a small group list. So if we have some new people coming to sit in our section community and they want to get more involved and build relationship, or if we have people that are new salvations, we want to make sure they have someone to walk with. So if you're part of a small group, please let me know, and we've got a little directory. There's 4 things that we'd want to get from them. We want to know what they're studying on, what curriculum they're going through, what book they're studying, and make sure that we approve that being shared and getting people plugged in if it's an open group. What the time, date, and frequency of the small group is, if there's childcare available, family friendly, and what the location is, and then what their contact information is, like if they want to be contacted via email to get people involved, those kind of things. So yes, we want to get a small group directory set up. And one of the things that I'm going to be working on doing is creating you guys a binder where you can house all of this information. So you can have your small group list, you can have your rosters in there, you can have a prayer request list, whatever, in there. And have a calendar, just binders for you. It's your section leader binder where all your information is. So I'm going to get those created and I will have those ready to pass out to you guys at the May 20th meeting. Let's see here. Okay, almost done. Okay, one last thing. Another great piece of feedback that I received from one of you guys was getting some scripts in place for making those first kind of phone calls. So let me double check really quick and see. I had written down. So after you meet somebody face-to-face in service, if you want to call them and just say how great it was to meet them, I'm going to create a script for a follow-up call. So just after you've made a face-to-face connection, to do a follow-up call and make yourself available once more if they ever need anything. I'll create a script for that. I will have a little script for you guys, so if you notice someone is missing and you don't see them in service, it's a little text message that you can send to them to check on them. And then we also have our weekly email template that I'll send out for you guys as well. And then the last one will be a pastoral care script. Now these are more like guidelines. You don't have to stick to it word for word. All of our conversations should be natural and organic. But it's really just to give you guys a little something to work off of, so it's not awkward or uncomfortable when you call, but you know what you want to say, and then you can just carry the conversation on naturally from there. So I'm going to create those for you, and I will also have those in your binders as well. And I'm so very thankful for your feedback. Another thing that we're working on is making sure that we've got the proper foundational steps in place for new salvation. So if we meet people and they accept, Jesus as their Lord and Savior, how are we taking care of them after that step? Making sure that we have stuff in place here at Trinity that we're really ready to walk with them. Yes, we have baptism. Yes, we've got fast track. Yes, we've got membership. But what about actually walking with them, that discipleship part? What are we doing? And so I'll go ahead and refer you guys to this book that I'm working with right now. It's called The Purple Book. It's a fantastic biblical foundation for strong discipleship. It's a great book to walk through with people that are new in their faith. And that's just a personal recommendation. If you guys have any recommendations as well, I'd love to hear that too. And I'm gonna go talk to Pastor Jim, give him our feedback that you guys have provided with me, and ask him if that's a book that we could possibly start having just always an ongoing 12-week Bible study of this foundational a biblical foundation for our new salvation, so that once they come and they get saved, they have something to get plugged into, so they're just getting fed constantly, right? So they don't have an opportunity to slip back into old ways. So we're thinking about all this stuff. This is a really long video. I'm just seeing how long I've been talking. Thanks for hanging in there with me if you guys are watching this all the way through. But your feedback is so valuable. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you guys are doing. Pastor Jim, he was so encouraged from our time together, and he told me, he said, thank you for speaking into the leaders. You can see how passionate they are. And our passion that we have right now, I think all of us are just aligned with the Lord and what the Holy Spirit's doing. I think if you could say we're all on the same Holy Spirit wavelength, the steps that we're doing, the processes we're putting in place, the way we're being intentional about loving and stewarding the people in this house, I think that's very crucial to revival, really. We are making sure that our house is prepared for the influx of people that the Lord is going to bring to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you guys do. I love y'all so much. You bless my soul. I've never been so encouraged in my life to be doing ministry and to be bringing people to know Jesus. This is just the best. It's just the best. Okay, I covered a whole lot. Type in your questions in the comments, email me. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. I'm going to send you guys the information for how to connect with Pastor Jim's weekly email and his social media stuff too, because we want to be sharing that per his request. And there are cards. There's green cards that say, like, if you've made a commitment, a faith commitment, if you have, if you're a new salvation, if you want to get baptized, if you want to sign up for Pastor's weekly email, those little contact cards are in the back of the chairs in the worship center. They've got like a little green box around them, and they're next to the pens and the tithe envelopes. So if you guys, see of anybody, make sure that they fill those out if they're ready to make a next step, and encourage people to sign up for Pastor's email too, because that's a really great way to just hear his heartbeat and just see how real he is, and stay connected to everything that's going on here at Trinity too. So love you guys again. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and I'm excited. I will see you on Sunday. God bless you. All right, bye y'all.